Hello everyone. It's James again. And today I want to talk about how society conditions us to accept narcissistic abuse. Not just take but to accept it as normal. To the point where we will fight to keep the abuse going without knowing it. Much like in the Matrix. Where Morpheus tells Neo those that are still plugged into the Matrix are dangerous. And they will fight and even kill to keep their fake existence going. When people hear and see what's going on around them, they don't want to think about what's really going on. And sadly there's not much you can do for those people. When it's time for them to wake up they will seek the information. But no matter if you grew up in a narcissistically abusive family, or you're a regular person walking around in society, you've been touched by narcissism, or narcissistic personality disorder whether you know it or not. The conditioning out there is so thick and strong. It's not an accident. It's just not an accident. You see people walking around controlled. Even when they think they have all the control in the world, they really have none. Because they've been conditioned. And when someone does something so evil and wrong, we as a people are conditioned to think that people like that don't exist. Like, no way. I don't believe that happen. No one would ever do that to someone. Come on, are you sure? And back to sleep they go. You see, this is the strong programming firewall that is set up by our society. That won't allow certain people to see the truth of how bad things really are that are going on around them. And by having this programming set up, it allows narcissists to operate in and around their space in broad daylight without being detected. Because they would never believe such a person would do such things to another human being. They don't believe another human being would manipulate and mind screw their own children, then be nice to the neighbors. And all of the other things narcissists are capable of. But I believe there are some that deep down inside know. But they just don't want to see it. It's much easier to fall back asleep in their own world, where everything is exactly the way they like it to be. This is why, when you might present what you've been through with a narcissist to a friend, you might be met with anger. Like, how dare you think someone would treat you this way? This might be their way of saying, quit bringing this negativity my way and shattering how I see the world. I don't want to know. Nor do I care how evil people can be. I want to be positive. And though it's great to be positive, one shouldn't be this way to the point of ignorance. But hey, that's their choice. But it's what we face as those that were touched by narcissistic abuse in our lives. And we finally woke up. And keep on waking up every day. Because just when we think we've woken up to one part of our abuse, there's an entire layer of what happened to us we must discover and work through. And in most cases all we have are these narcissistic abuse communities. Because those that aren't awake that walk among us, might be dangerous to tell such information about our lives to. This is why for other problems people go to therapy. Such as dealing with an alcoholic parent. It's not always easy to speak to your neighbor or work friend about such things. Because you don't know what will happen with your information. Will you be mocked? Will it be used against you? Will they be so asleep they will think you're making it up? And sadly there isn't much therapy out there for those that were narcissistically abused. This is why many of us make videos, write blogs and tell our stories. So we can self-reflect and help ourselves. But also so we can in turn help others that are going through the same thing we are going through. People, we live in a very strange world in a very strange time. A time where some people are awake. Some people are asleep. And some people are in between. But one thing for sure is that narcissism and narcissistic abuse that's in this world is strong as a hammer crashing down. But the conditioning is so good. There are many that want to believe the hammer doesn't exist. It's just weird. Tell me what you've noticed out there. Because the more we share the more we can grow. Because like I always say, knowledge and wisdom is power. The more we know, the more we can lead happy and healthy lives. Until next time. Bye for now. And be good to yourself.